this is Rifki Berger from Fun and Function. We're here to talk about sensory tools you can use in your classroom to help all your students thrive. Our learning outcome will be to describe how students benefit from appropriate use of sensory tools and flexible seating. This will help them maintain attention, engagement, self-regulation, and readiness for learning. We'll describe how to use classroom spaces to address sensory needs. Let's think about our classroom environment and how we can support sensory needs. Our setup can include seating choices, sensory spaces, and sensory tools. These tools help students maintain attention and keep them engaged and ready for learning. Let's start with seating options. You can appreciate how hard it might be for students to sit for 6 hours at a desk on a hard chair. Some of our students need to rock and move to maintain attention to the lesson or the worksheet. Having cushions or stools that permit movement increases attention and is a healthy alternative to static seating. A ball chair is a great way to keep your kids active and engaged during tabletop activities. Doing a worksheet on a beanbag chair is a way to provide calming input in the course of an academic day. Let's look at another way to provide a break with calming input that helps children with self-regulation. If you have a sensory corner, students can go there to transition when they finish a task or as needed for a break. Let's see what's in a well-stocked sensory corner. There are mats or a rug on the floor. If you can fit a Sensasoft igloo or a small tent, it's an ideal way to reduce visual stimulation. There can be tools for calming, which can include a cozy canoe for a whole-body hug, gel tiles for calming visual input, and various items for deep pressure, like the roller massage, and lap pads. Tactile input like the sensory mini-mats. A poster can remind your students how to use the different tools. Soon enough, kids will be going over to the sensory corner on their own to use the tools they need. Your calming corner may be equipped with a break box, which contains a selection of sensory tools. These tools look like a lot of fun, but they're geared to provide fine motor work, calming pressure, tactile exploration, and more. We have break boxes geared to different age levels, preschool to teen, and there are base items, or you can customize it with your own assortment of sensory tools. When a student is finished with their work, they can choose something from the break box to take a much-needed sensory break before the demands of the next activity. At Fun and Function, we partner with schools to customize and create sensory spaces and break boxes. Our program, the Active Mind Partnership, promotes learning through addressing sensory and movement needs that are the cornerstone of the functional hierarchy we've explored in this series. You'll find when we address students' needs, we reduce the behavioral challenge and increase learning. Watch how our break box and sensory corner were used in a kindercare school.
So some people choose sometimes when they feel, what? Mad, right?
It's perfect.
It's perfect. What's in it?
Some bubblegum
Some bubble gum?
and some tasty.
Yeah.
Strawberries.
How does it make you feel when you pull those things out?
Happy.
Happy.
Oh no. Crunchy.
Oh, that's a good word.
And this one kind of feels like sand and sounds like sand.
Oh, you can hear it?
Things that provide proprioceptive input are items that have weight. The break box includes 2 weighted lap pads, which will help some students calm down and sit, especially kids with a lot of energy. Other items that address proprioception in another way are the massage tools. There is a massage roller and a vibrating massage animal. An all-time favorite for proprioceptive input is the Space Explorer or the Sensory Sack. Let the children get into the Space Explorer and their entire body will be getting that proprioceptive input like a big hug. Another sense that is addressed is audio. The noise-reducing headphones will help students block out some noise if they are getting overstimulated or overwhelmed. Fidgets are small tools that engage students in minor fidgeting activity and address the need for tactile input. The set of 3 fidget balls is a favorite. The balls have different textures and are great for allowing children to identify their sensory preferences.
I love it. I can specifically think of a few kids that would really benefit from a bunch of the items in this box. A lot of the behavior, I think, will improve. I already saw just in the few minutes that my students were exploring the box, some students were talking a little bit more and more outgoing because they had a fidget. Some students were calm and collected as they were sitting playing with the items in the box. Really kind of took their attention away, but in a good way. The corners are probably my favorite part of this entire thing, other than the break box being home in that corner. The corners kind of give the students a lot more sensory stuff where now it's an environment. It's not even just a box that they get to explore, but they're in an environment designated to house that box. There was a student actually earlier this week who had an outright meltdown. Having the break box now will give him, instead of, go have a seat, at the teacher table or go to change centers. Now he's got a calm, safe place to go in the classroom that will allow him to cool down on his own. I don't think teachers really need to even guide him in calming down. I think that now he has the opportunity to sit down and do it himself.
Transitions are sometimes very difficult for the whole class, even if there aren't any children with sensory needs. It's so beneficial to incorporate transition routines instead of doing a quick pivot from one activity to the other. High fives with eye contact at the classroom door, chants or songs as children gather their books, callbacks as the class lines up. These are all great ways to build community and ease transitions at the same time. Incorporating movement into transitions has the added benefit of priming students for learning. You can engage the whole class in a beanbag movement activity or use scarves for a more calming, slow-moving activity to transition from activity to activity. Could your kids use some energy after lunch or before math? Maybe they can crab walk or frog hop the last 10 feet down the hallway. Think about using your sensory hallway for transitions. Leapfrog, lily pads, hopscotch, and handprints for wall push-ups are some ideas that you can try. Creating and teaching procedures can help us use sensory spaces effectively, just as we teach students that the reading corner is available for students to engage in independent reading. We can teach students about the calming corner. The calming corner can be used by several students as needed. We'll want to figure out a system for how many students can be there at once. Do they need to take some sort of pass? How long can they stay there? Can children take items out of the calming corner? Is it only for certain times of day, or can it be accessed as needed? You can even develop some of these rules together with your students. Children need sensory input just like they need food and water. Make sure that using the calming corner isn't considered a reward or punishment. Rather, all classroom spaces are about promoting readiness for learning. By setting up the classroom and having sensory tools available, we'll achieve better learning outcomes and improve student behavior and self-regulation. We've learned that even if we don't have space in our schools for a sensory room, we can create sensory spaces in the hallway, classroom, and other school locations. We can place a variety of sensory tools in a container, like the break box offered by Fun and Function, and have sensory tools available right where they're needed by our students. Please check our website catalog or speak with our sales team to make your dreams a reality. Creating classroom spaces and appropriately using sensory tools empowers us to help each child succeed. All students benefit from sensory supports because we all have unique sensory needs.